Hi, and welcome to both virtually and physically to Natural Balance Masterclass. Uh, Natural Balance Masterclass is an event that started about a year ago, and um, so it's a new time. We're in a new location, and my name is Neal. Uh, Neal's my name, but Neal's actually not who I am. If you're hearing my voice right now, you're in the presence of Natural Balance Masterclass. Um, you might ask yourself, like, well, who am I? If I'm not my name, well, who am I then? Well, who I am is a multi-dimensional, infinite spiritual being that's expressing through a human body. I'm a child of God the Father. I'm spirit in form here in the present moment. And it's from the present moment that I actually have an opportunity to come from something. If I'm in the past is it's a construct that exists in time, but in truth doesn't exist. Today is a conversation of presence. It's a conversation of right now. It's not a conversation of there or then. It's a conversation of here. And with this here conversation, uh, the only place to start from is from here. It's fascinating to me right now that there is an there's an abundance of opportunities. There's an abundance of things that I can be doing right now. There's an abundance of things that you can be doing right now. But it just so happens that I'm here communicating, and it just so happens that you're doing whatever you're doing. And why are you doing what you're doing? Why eat? Why take another step? Why have that conversation? When I can actually get to a foundation, get to a root of why I'm doing what I'm doing, it's from the why, it's from the intention. That's what actually matters. It doesn't even matter if the intention gets fulfilled. What matters is that the intention is here and that it's being acted upon, because it's from intention that you're coming from something. Giving and receiving, they're literally two sides of the same coin. So if I give but I don't receive, there that is an inherent state of unbalance. And with this state of giving and not receiving, what naturally happens is an extension of one's energy where like this is like my go-to. This is like I'm like a master at overgiving, and the result of that is being less energized to go about my day. It showed up in the past for me. It's looked like people pleasing, so it's showed up as having something like that I'm focusing on, and then somebody shows up and they're like, "Oh, hey, do you got like 10 minutes to do this thing?" And even though I've got a task that I'm focused on, like saying, "Yes, I have 10 minutes. I can go do this thing," thus taking me off task, thus taking me off purpose, to uh, extend energy. And we what we have in this world is time, and we have focus. So where I focus during the time that I have has direct impact on how I'm directing and using my energy. That's in truth, it's God's energy. And so how am I directing that? What kind of questions am I asking? Uh, and are the questions that I'm asking questions that in the present moment, are they a contribution, first of all, in my life, and then second of all, in other people's lives? Uh, are these questions that I'm asking myself, are they questions that nurture what's going on here in the present moment? Are they questions that are directing me towards peace? Like, when was the last time you asked yourself a question that had you um, look inside of yourself and notice a moment, like possibly during your childhood, where you felt free and you felt vulnerable and you felt peaceful and fun? When was the last time you asked yourself a question like this? A question like, how does it feel like to sleep in because of just having so much peace? All right, I'll pause there.
Yeah, go Neal. Yeah, I received that. Mm, yeah, sleeping in from a place of peace. That's pretty nice. Yeah, sometimes I sleep in, but it's more like from a place of like depression. So I'm like, no, that's not quite what I'm looking for. But sleeping in from a state of peace, that's pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, like I really hated like when I was forced to do stuff like go to school and homework or things like that. I was like I just want my freedom. I just want to play and do whatever. Huh, huh. Mm. Yeah, I remember I would definitely want to sleep in, that's for sure. If I had to go do something I didn't want to. I think sometimes uh I remember my mom or my dad or stepdad, they'd have to like almost drag me out of bed sometimes to make me get up because I'd rather just pretend like I was still asleep. Like, ah, shit, I gotta go to school. I don't wanna. So yeah, I can still feel that little kid in there, just like I don't want to do that. Yeah, and I can relate to the uh, giving and people pleasing. I definitely done a lot of that. And it's kind of weird. When I was a kid, I became so shy that like I wouldn't even like talk to people. I'm not really sure. I wanted connection, so I don't it makes no sense why you would do that. Yeah, I think I took to heart a little bit too much whenever adults would like tell me to be quiet and pay attention and don't make noise, don't be a bother. You know, I took it too much. Like, oh, just like I think maybe the mask that I was putting on was like pretending that I don't have needs, so that I won't bother anybody. And with that, the dysfunction that caused was it caused me to shut down and not even connect with people. And if I'm not willing to open up my heart and connect with people, then how can I give to them and how can I receive either? So yeah, I'm glad I have a more open heart now. And I've definitely learned uh, that giving giving myself deeper and deeper into a hole is not a great way to show unconditional love by because I'm neglecting myself trying to help others.
Is there more or is that complete?
Yeah, that feels complete.
All right. Um, are you feeling something, Rob? All right. Check.
That's better. What I heard ringing in your words first with me was how your intention seems very strong to just stay out of the way, and crediting all energy comes through you is God's. And I also will ask you, you spoke, I overheard some of your talk from the podcast up in Casona today. And it was your message. I am my heart. I am from my heart. And whatever the reaction or the reception is from another person, you've done. You've done what you are here to do from heart. And I'd like to maybe hear that again. To your question, when's the last time I invited light and joy in questioning myself? Wow, it seemed like a strange topic. Who would ask that question? Where I've been so self-directed or influenced around here to dig up dirt, to chase down lies, all for a very good God cause. But to think that I could give myself wings just like that by asking a question that takes me there, that's thank you for that reminder.
You're welcome.
I had to be coaxed into that, and I just today working, Noel's helping me on a breakthrough. And it's a brother thing going on that has caused me to feel a lot of pain and inadequacy and weakness. But I ended up with him questioning, when do I remember playing with him in this physical world? And wow, I knew and I felt, yeah, we were good brothers at a time. And I can play more in that space. And this is, this timeless void, I can go back and play with him again, just invite myself. So that's a wonderful happened today, and I'm grateful for that. It's just, I'll just step out for a bit.
Nice. Thank you, Rob. There I was, like maybe 9 years old, and I was beside a creek. And how I got to that creek was I'd walked from my home, and it was like a half-mile walk on a paved road, and I'd walked beside the road and walked to the creek, and the road went over the creek, and there was this big metal culvert that was maybe 11 feet tall when you were standing by the water, and maybe like 8 feet wide. And I remember just laying on top of that culvert, and it was ridged, so like I could feel the ridges on my stomach and on my legs. And I remember it was at the start of a day, so like the sun was coming out, and the culvert was still a little bit cool from the evening. But the sun was warm on my back, and I just remember looking at the water and just watching it and just being there. And that was a really peaceful moment in my life that I remember. And my younger brother was there, and I remember after just being there for a while, like we fished, we caught there were these like shiners in the creek, so they had like silver on the side of their body, and when the sun shone on them, they would like glisten in the water. So we would catch those. So that's a share that I brought into the present moment that's from the past. And the time is illusionary. We made it up. We constructed it. It works, for example, with storytelling. It's like, oh, there was this, and then there was that, and then there was this. So time works for storytelling. Time works also for us moving, moving. Time works for us to have a perception of motion. Time also works for in that perception of motion for us to see the things like our programs. So our my truths, our opinions, our perception, our expectation. Time gives us the opportunity to see those things. And we can see them, but it gives us the opportunity to also experience them, to like have the experience, to have the opinion, to have the perception, to have the my truth. And they're all bullshit. uh, they're bullshit because they're not fully true. They exist inside of the truth, but my opinion, my truth, my perception, my expectation, they're bullshit because they're in time, which is real. So all those things are real. They're valid. They're experiences. And the truth is beyond what's real. What's real exists inside of the truth. And the truth exists inside of what's real. But the truth is greater than what's real. So in this earlier conversation that you spoke to with the podcast, I'm gonna reference something right now, which it's something that I've been playing with today, but I don't know. It's the first time I've even considered this, and so I'm what I'm looking at is this idea of, all right, there's a mind matrix. So the mind matrix, and more accurately called the brain matrix, is a matrix of programs that is programmed into us from the time we're a child to the point where we're at right now. And this brain matrix, it consists of my uncle's opinions, it consists of my aunt's opinions, it includes my grandma's statements that came through my mother. It includes programming from newspapers. This mind matrix includes signs beside the road. They're not just, they're in, if I see them, they're now in my brain. They're now part of the construct of how I view the world. And so there's this brain matrix, and what's new now is that I'm seeing that I consider the idea of a heart matrix, and I don't think there is a heart matrix. I think the heart is the access, is the portal that is is where the truth flows through into the body. And so how I'm viewing the heart is the thing that has us be able to transcend this brain matrix. Because when I'm speaking from my heart and like actually grounded, when I'm speaking, there's not thoughts going on inside my brain of what to communicate or what I'm gonna communicate. What there is flow. What there is presence. And when this is in place, that is the truth that is, it's beyond logical, it's illogical, it's beyond this brain construct. And I see one of the highest states for a soul in a human body is to have heart and brain in alignment, to have coherence. And this coherence is congruency of being. It's when my intuition lines up with my thoughts. It's when what I'm thinking about is reinforced by my intuition. It's where I'm single-minded. It's where I don't feel some way and think something else. It's where when congruent, I feel some way and what I think is confirming what I feel. This is a really high state, and I believe that it's possible for who? For you. So I'll pause there.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get back to that state. Stay there. It feels really good when you're like it just totally in the flow, totally in the moment, and it's just like my heart's open and my energy is flowing from my heart, from my divinity, and my mind is either still and there's not a lot of thoughts going on, or the activity that is going on is like really empowering stuff, like, oh, this is a good idea that I can actually act on, or like using my word positively. Like, sometimes I'll think to myself in my head, like, the stuff I'm thinking, if I was standing in front of a crowd and I was preaching this to them, would I be doing them a service or a disservice? So that's kind of like a good way to catch what's going on in the mind and either empower it and give it more energy, or to, like, just kind of, all right, let's change course here and get back to neutrality or positivity.
Yes. And do you got something, Rob?
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Sounds like you may have a divine concept there. I have to. So I was going to ask you, how does your matrix convert to your truth? What's
They're the
what's
same.
the transforming thing?
Where I'm speaking from, my truth is the matrix. It's the same thing. Like
The truth. I meant to.
oh,
The
yeah. So my truth is what holds the matrix together. Um, so your question is, how does the truth fit into the matrix idea? Or what's your question?
well, the pure truth I associated with your concept of the purification through the heart.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted, so that's how I visualize what you said. And that has a, a pure, kind of a spiritual explanation for me. I glad you shared that. It sounds powerful.
Yeah, and how you articulated it is how I see it, like with the heart, um, being a purifier, but I see it more as being a receiver, I think the whole body's a purifier. I don't think it's just the heart. But I do think that is a major access point for the truth to flow through. I think.
I wasn't very conscious in asking the question. I was kind of focused on your expression in the world, not so much the other direction, the receiving. I missed that it will be two-channel. Well, it's an exchange of energy, and I wasn't thinking. I wasn't even thinking. Oh yeah, coming, receiving, which has something to do with my state of well, I'm kind of losing my crown as champion people pleaser around here, but that I still hang on pretty tight to that that ego. So receiving is I got a lot of potential growth there.
All right.
Potential energy.
Oh, yes. What do you see that if you were to receive, what would you need to let go of, like with your ego, that has you not want to receive, or maybe it wants it, but it's just like a pushing away. So so the question is, like, if you were to receive, what egoic tendency would you let go of?
Lack of self worth, not feeling deserving of love and people's attention, opens up that channel.
Is there more there, or is that it?
Well, more assured, deep belief in my full acceptance and loving state with God, then I could just relax and find even more space and know my heart is functioning as he designed it to give from receiving. Still had a lot of mental interference there, but that's God gifted. I am opening up to.
That's it. That, how you finished that, you stuck the landing like perfectly. Like there wasn't even really a screech on the tires with your landing. It was just soft and perfect. And the perfection that I'm seeing with it is, there was a moment where you were where you literally said there's some mental interference, like there was some, I don't know, was there thoughts going on?
Matrix, man.
Yes. So the matrix brain. But then on your completion, you're like, how you completed was in such a way that it was like, and that's a God gift. And that is the landing, and that's the perfection that I see. Because the thoughts can be there, but it's not about if the thoughts are there or not. It's about, am I receiving this as a gift, or am I resisting what the thoughts are and needing there to be something else? And what you did, Rob, was acceptance. And in that is completion. That is an example of natural balance, where you have an imbalance, but you see the perfection of that. You see the perfection of, even these thoughts are contributing to me seeing and growing to a point where, like, I don't need these thoughts, or I don't need these programs. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'll pause there. Something I'm gonna keep going now. So something, if you're watching this replay or if you're online, that you're not aware of is, like, while we're filming this masterclass, there's a Tony Robbins event going on in the next room with super banging music. Just, it's really expressive, and it's it is interesting to have this and to be here present, and be in this masterclass, and have this event going on, like, right here. It's a gift, and my point with speaking to it is, where am I focusing? Why am I here? Why am I speaking? Why am I taking that step that I'm taking? Why drink water? Like, really, all these things are abundance. All these things, when there's multiple events to go to, it's not like you're missing out on an event. It's like you are not present at an event, but what's happening is that there's so many opportunities that you have more than enough options to choose from. This is the case often with us who grew up in the Western world with food. There's many options of food we can choose from. This is abundance. Nature works a little bit differently. Nature works like, food is ready, and you eat what's ready. Uh, you don't say, I have all these options and I want to have this food. No, nature says, hey, this food is ready. And so then the action is to eat what's available, to eat what's ready, to eat what God's providing. And now, that being said, food is seasonal. So different foods are ready at different times. And God's design, the natural design, is full on abundance. And so there might be times when you're like, oh, what's available? And maybe it's mangoes are available. And you go to a mango tree and you might pick a mango and eat it, or you might pick like 5 mangoes and eat them, and then notice there's like 200 more on the tree, and then another 300 on the ground that you're just not even, that are like opened and fermenting. And so when something is ready, there's there's an abundance of what's ready. And so then the question becomes, what season am I in? Am I in spring? Is there something new in my life? Is there a new way of being that I'm being? Is there a new life? Is there new energy in my body? Am I in summer? Are things, is there patterns that are now in place? Am I feeling like there's smooth sailing? There's not as much energy as spring, but things are easy now. Am I in summer where the sun's hot and there's still plenty of water? Am I in fall? Am I harvesting food? Am I now reaping the benefits of the past year? It's things are slowing down big time in fall, but there's this abundance of food. Like there's so many resources, but there's not much new resources coming in. Am I in winter? Do I now have only the resources that I've had, like canned or frozen from the previous year? Is that now my food? Water is slower in winter. Things are dormant. Am I at a point in my life where there's dormancy?
I noticed that the word lack is obviously absent from all of your, well, abundance is the assumed state that you're in.
I received this. Is there more you want to speak to, or?
I could look at the harvest and how I take energy into my body and the sources and find myself looking ahead, projecting in concern over the lack, and then introduce the impossibility that I can do something about it. So I've gone out of I've left state of abundance.
Is there an abundance of lack?
The bins are about evenly full.
All right, great.
Empty, half full.
Yeah. Is there more, or is that complete? All right, great. So from the present moment, all things are possible. From the past, what's possible is more of the past. I can bring the past into the present moment and use it as an example. I can use it as a feeling. What that can perpetuate is more of that past experience, more of that feeling. So if I'm always coming from the past, I'm also recreating that in the future. So from the present, that's where it happens. That's where creation happens. And questions direct our focus. So so why ask questions? Well, the reason to ask questions is to use the question to focus the brain and actually use that to accomplish a certain task. Now, there's another state. See what I just explained was really logical. It was like 1 + 2 = 3. But and I could even go and say that that's how science relates to things. The foundation of science. It's this thing where it's like uh, this plus this equals this said result. And now it's logical and it's structured and it makes sense. But there's this illogical thing that I'm calling the truth. And when science says 1 + 2 = 3, the truth says 1 + 2 can equal exponential. So there's this state that is illogical, is beyond the brain matrix, and it's comes from a heart-centered location. And this place is unconditional love, and it's not so much a location as something that's already here now that we can just tap into and come from. I'm gonna pause here and welcome, Susan. We can go. Do you want to share something, Susan? Yeah, I'll ask that for right now.
I'm just glad to have popped in. I've been running errands all day and I got back and I thought, what am I going to do now? And I thought, I think I'll check Mighty Network. And there you are, Neal. And I decided to pop in. So I'm in that space that you're talking about. It's just pulling me into this beautiful unfolding present moment, and there's no thought about it. It's just kind of like, oh, now this is happening, now this is happening, and now this is happening, and I'm just present to it. And I'm just really loving that. So that's what I have to share.
Thank you. Yeah, I asked that question because we're at a transition point. What we're transitioning into is a time to give an offer. So we'll have 2 minutes each to give this offer. And what this offer can include is time. So when's it going to happen? Date, on what day is it going to happen? Location, where's it going to be at? And minimum donation amount. What's the donation to receive either this product or service? And then another component is an email or a phone number for somebody to reach out to you. With that being said, is there somebody here who already has an offer ready and you would like to share your offer? Joseph, I see your hand up. Welcome. Take a moment and be with your heart. And as you're ready, let it rip and you'll have 2 minutes to give your offer.
Okay, so my offer is my course that I finished with Peter's program a little while back. It's helping to overcome procrastination. So going from a master procrastinator to a massive action taker. So who here has ever had um, a commitment that you've made, whether externally and or internally, and there's an action step that you need to take, but you somehow or other you just keep on putting it off. All right. And after doing that, did you like beat yourself up for it and think, why do I keep doing this to myself despite the negative consequences that I suffer from not getting my work done? All right. Well, my course is designed to help you overcome that internal block where you keep on not honoring your commitments, getting your work done, and where you're staying distracted with, other things, maybe even a little bit of people pleasing or side quests that are distracting you from your main quest, your highest commitment, your priority, that purpose that's in alignment with your soul. So the course is $333, and even if you can't afford that, I at the very least would highly invite and recommend everyone to go to schejournal.bridgebooks.info, and you can get my lead magnet. It's a tool called the Schejournal that shows you how to take control of your time, take control of your entire day, and you can use it in a very masculine way where you say, I'm going to get this done at this time, or you can use it in more of a feminine way and lean more into the journal side where you get things done or not and write about it, write down what actually happened. So that is my course, schejournal.bridgebooks.info. I will put that in the description, as well as my email and phone number if you want to schedule like a connection or a coaching call. Thank you.
Nice. Really great. Susanna, Rob, are you feeling an offer? I got a note from Suzanne. Rob, you got the mic? Are you feeling something?
Well, I'm going to account for last week when it was I'm grateful for the invitation just to consider that really for the first time. I wanted to respond to last week and give that possibility to myself. I came up with an idea.
Is it an offer like for other people or what is
well,
this?
It didn't quite work out.
Okay.
My concept was good old game time.
Yes. So are you going to make another offer? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not going to make another offer.
Okay.
I have a lead though, and that your previous invitation has given me might be a good lead. I want to refine that.
Nice.
For next
really
time.
Great. All right.
It's my commitment.
Great. So you made a commitment. That's what you just did.
Yeah.
Come on. All right. Okay. So I invite you, if you're someone that is looking to practice being whole and complete and actually know and relate to yourself as somebody who's a contribution, I invite you to show up here. Show up to Natural Balance Masterclass and show up with an offer already designed. So when this time comes to give an offer, you can share it. Natural Balance Masterclass. This happens at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you're invited. So that's my first offer. Now my second offer, this is called natural expression. Natural expression, while natural balance masterclass is free, natural expression is a minimum donation amount of $111. This offer is an offer for a 1 hour phone call. This can be virtual or it can be in person, depending on where you're at. And who here is somebody who you can see that you've eaten food and then you've eaten other food and then you've noticed a difference in your body's functions and how your body operated after you've ate different food. So natural expression is an offer to dive into a conversation where you bring a specific health plan and we look at what your intention is and look at how we can eat the way God's original intention was for us to eat, and combine those and live a life of radiance, live a life of optimism and wellness. So I'm going to put my email in the description, and this is scheduled after you make the donation. So make the donation and then we'll schedule this conversation.
I think we are on schedule for
Yes.
our session tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. Rob, you accepted this offer. And so, yes, we have a conversation tomorrow. So, all these offers are in the description. With that, thank you, Rob, for being here. Thank you, Suzanne, for being here. Thank you, Joseph, for being here. Your time is invaluable. There's no price tag anybody can put on your time. They can put it on there, but just because they put it on there doesn't say that's the value of your time. The value of your time is infinite. I love you so much. Thank you. Peace.